phone buzzed at 11:47 p.m. Not a call, a text. I caught her glance at it before she could stop herself. Just a flash, barely there. She didn't pick it. She didn't have to. She already knew what it said. We were sitting at opposite ends of the couch, the television murmuring to no one. The room still carried the smell of the dinner I'd cooked and she'd barely touched. She took a slow breath, like someone preparing to step into icy water. I need to find out if size really matters, she said, casually rehearsed. You'll never know. Don't worry. I waited for the punchline. It never came. My heart didn't race. It leveled out flat and precise like a line drawn with a ruler. Okay, I said. That was all. She blinked once, then again, as if I'd missed my cue to fall apart. Then she smiled, relieved, almost triumphant. The phone buzzed again. I watched the glow from the screen light her face while she pretended not to notice. Something inside me shifted quietly into a new arrangement. We've been married 9 years, long enough to know each other's breathing patterns, long enough to recognize when a sentence has been practiced. This one had, she explained it like a study. No names, no specifics, just curiosity, packaged as honesty. I just need to be sure, she said. It's not about you. That's how lies usually introduce themselves. I nodded, asked if she wanted tea. Inside, a voice began counting, not numbers, signals, the longer showers, the phone tucked beneath her pillow, girls' nights that suddenly required a new dress. I didn't ask questions. Questions alert people. Instead, I observed. I noticed how her laughter changed. Sharper, younger, as if she were borrowing someone else's confidence. I noticed how she stopped touching me altogether, not with revulsion but with indifference, as though the experiment required a control group. I started sleeping lightly, not from fear, from focus. The night she said she was going out, she kissed my cheek and told me not to wait up. I told her to have fun. She left, smiling. I stayed awake. I don't believe in coincidence. So when her cloud backup synced to the home server, something she didn't realize I'd configured, I didn't feel lucky. I felt confirmed. Messages, flirtations stripped of romance, comparisons made as casually as grocery lists, a name appearing often, enough to become familiar, a man she'd known before me, a man who lived nearby. I didn't read everything at once. Copied, pasted, let the truth drip. Instead of drown me, I cross-checked dates, locations, times she claimed she was with friends. I pulled phone records. Nothing dramatic, just patterns. Then I did something else. I invited someone over, not him, her sister. Asked simple questions about the past, about people she used to mention, names she once defended a little too fiercely. One name made her sister pause. I thanked her for coming and walked her to the door. By then, the outline was clear. This wasn't curiosity. It was a revival. The following Friday, she didn't come home until after midnight. I stood in the darkened kitchen, listening as the lock turned. The door opened. She froze, because I wasn't alone. The man standing beside me was older, taller, steady in the way men are when they've already survived consequences. Her father. He'd arrived an hour earlier. I told him everything, shown him enough. He looked at her as if he were seeing the ending of a story he'd prayed would never repeat. What's happening? She whispered. I handed her my phone. The messages were open, highlighted, annotated. She didn't scroll far. The color drained from her face. This isn't, she began. Her father lifted a hand. She stopped. I spoke then, calm and deliberate. You wanted to test a theory, I said. So did I. I slid another envelope onto the counter. Divorce papers pre-filled. Assets listed. Her signature line. Waiting. I needed to find out if respect really matters. I continued. You'll never know how long I knew. Don't worry. She collapsed into a chair. Her father remained standing. I didn't raise you this way, he said, not angrily but with a disappointment sharp enough to cut. She reached for me. I stepped back. That movement shattered her more than any sentence could have. She tried to bargain, to apologize, to rewrite what had already happened. I listened. Then I told her the part she hadn't expected. He was never coming here, I said. I didn't want a scene. I wanted clarity. She looked up, confused. I already know what he looks like. I added. And it was never about size. Her mouth opened, then closed. It was about emptiness. I finished. And that's something you brought with you. Her father asked if I needed anything. I said no. He hugged me once, harder than necessary, then left. I stayed long enough to pack. Not in anger, in order. When I reached the door, she was sitting on the kitchen floor, crying quietly. I didn't turn around. Some experiments don't need results. They need endings. Outside, the night air felt neutral, honest. As I walked to my car, I understood something clearly. She wanted to measure herself against someone else, to feel larger. I measured the truth and found exactly what I needed to know. I drove away without music, without regret, just space and silence that finally belonged to me.